that audio is coming through here. My mic's decided not to work, so I'm going to redo that here in a second. We are live at an armor party, and we are about ready to do a live armor building demonstration.
Up and did a couple of scoops up north when I first started, and I met both of them up there.
Okay, hey everybody, we are back live at the armor party. We had a little bit of a microphone malfunction. We are back up and running, and what we're going to be doing is a live demonstration for heat forming Centra. We're going to do two different methods, and then we're going to shift from that to using different forms of getting rid of print lines, VPLs, the dreaded VPL. And then I will show you the magic weathering juice that will let you really do a survivor style, heavily weathered piece of armor. So that's what we're about to do. I'm going to flip the camera around and let's have some fun. All right. So we have Caleb that will be doing the first demo.
Hello.
And again, Stu, I believe, is the volunteer that will be getting hot melted plastic put onto them. So what we're heating up right now is called 3 mil Centra. And so this is the classic method. And what he's really trying to do is get it heated all the way across on the whole piece of armor. However, you have to be extremely careful about not getting the edges too much. I have bubbled, I have burned, I have destroyed Centra. And so if you overheat it, that gets bad. And Centra, unlike ABS, doesn't like to be heated, reheated, and then reheated. And so it's like a one-stop shop. You know, you get one shot with it, and then that's it. Okay? So what Caleb is doing is he's doing the front side and the back side. And he is just trying to get it to where it's really, truly malleable without melty. Okay? So let's do this on his chest like it was a real chest piece, because we're just doing this for demonstration purposes. Because we just cut off a spare piece of Centra here. Okay? And that didn't hurt so bad. Don't even feel it. What he's wearing is a real, Mando Merc vest that's 2 layers of duck cloth cotton. And you never want to do this on too much bulkiness. The more you can do it like over your real soft goods and your real vest will make a huge difference on making this work properly. So hello, please let us know in the comments where you're from. Where are you at in the world? We are in southern Indiana, almost towards Kentucky. And smack dab in the middle, center of the state, east to west, but very far south from where I live, normally on the northern border with Michigan. So you can see Caleb is using his limited amount of time to heat form that. And one of the things you always want to be careful about is not putting thumbprints into the plastic. And that really gets noticeable if we start doing 6 mil Centra. Okay? Okay? And so that is 3 mil Centra. I get mine from a local sign shop. And there we are. Now let's unplug the heat gun and let's plug in my electric griddle. So this is my cheat right here. I love cheating with this thing. We got this for $5 or $10 at Goodwill or at a thrift store. As you can see, this will never put pancakes on it ever, but never again.
Never.
Okay? So we're also going to do a little score and snap action. Let's find our Centra. Okay, there we are. Caleb, can I hand you that for a second? So when you're scoring and snapping for heat forming a piece, you just do a single light line. You don't have to push in too far, and then you just follow that back up. It's very much like cutting drywall.
I'll show you my first one.
All right, so I'm just doing 3 light cuts with a basic X-Acto knife. Pop that, easy peasy. Cut it through. If I were really wanting to do this right, I would probably take like a 120 grit sandpaper along the edges. I'd clean up the edges, but we're just doing demonstration purposes. Okay, so now we're going to plug in our electric griddle. I'm hoping I can actually get it to turn on because I've lost the handle. Somebody here has probably got some pliers. Or we'll... Nope, I got it going. So I'm hoping that we're actually getting it. And the best way I can tell when this gets hot enough is when that starts boiling away. Why do I like to use an electric griddle for doing a large piece of plastic?
Uniform heat.
Uniform heat, baby. That's exactly right. Can you check with one of the people that's here and ask anybody if they've got just a pair of needle nose pliers? Okay, or a Leatherman tool or something like that. This thing has been beat up and thrown in and out of my armor tote so much that I think it's quite likely that that button... Oh, no, we're starting to warm up here.
We're going to let him find them.
Oh, we're going to let him find it because we might need it. But when I see this boil away, then I'm going to know that we have that even heat distribution. So while we're waiting for that to heat up, say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah. So we had 5 different clans, is what I heard. So at least 5 states worth of people here today. And 2 regions, Northeast region and probably North Central region, because we have folks from Michigan and Indiana. And so yeah, we got a lot of folks here. Kentucky. So we have folks from all over. Ohio, Michigan, Illinois.
Yeah, so the entire Northwest Territory plus Kentucky. So.
Yeah. So I'm going to give a quick demo here while we're waiting for that to finish heating up. Can you pick up the blue box and open that up, and we'll do a little demo, little live demo. Okay. So the Mando Mercs allow you to have parachute buckles like what you see on my schnees over there, but they have to look metallic. The easiest, cheapest cheat on the planet is a little thing of silver rub and buff. Okay? You put a little glob of this stuff and put it on with your finger, you put it on with a Q-tip. You just put it on some of those corners and edges and you just make it look either generically metal or just that it's been rubbed away to metal. This is your trick right here, rub and buff. The other trick is basic dry graphite lubricant. That's how a lot of Dinjarans use graphite. They paint themselves with a gloss black and then rub graphite on top of it. And then this is a this is a blue rub and buff type of material. This is a metallic blue. I thought it would look more like gun bluing, but no, it's actually like blue. So that was a little bit of a surprise. But this is my little magic metal weathering case. So that right there, you could do, 20 or 100 Mandos with just what's in there. Okay. And then when you're putting together your Mando, you're starting to put things, it never hurts to actually put your whole Mando from head to toe and start laying it out and thinking, do I actually have all the pieces, parts that I need to make this armor happen? Okay. So I believe that we're now actually warm, right? Yes, I see bubblings. All right. Steamy, steamy. So the trick with this, and Caleb has the gloves of doom. We'll even cut this in half so we can just do a couple demos. Okay. This is the part where you do want proper PPE. Okay, a little score and snap. I scored it. I literally snapped it. Bob's your uncle. We throw that on there. And then we wait. And what you want to do, and this is where I like doing it with my non-gloved hand, or you have another volunteer/victim, is I'm feeling for this, and I'm also trying to make sure that it doesn't rise up off of my griddle. This gets me that uniform heat distribution. And if you ever start doing 6mm Centra, which is twice as thick, there is no way on God's green earth that you're calibrated well enough to heat up 6mm Centra uniformly. And this is the shiznits for doing that 6mm. All right, this is starting to feel pretty warm to my touch. Okay, so let's, we'll just pry it. And if this, yep, we're definitely warm. Okay, go ahead and pull it off if you can. This is a live demo. We can screw it up. Here.
Looks like this corner's lifting. He's got it.
Okay, you got it. And see, that's why all that nastiness, that's the part that he's going to put down on the body. So let's put it on while it's nice and floppy hot. Hey, do it like it's a shoulder strap or something like that. Let's get some real curvage to it. Okay? And so that nice, wonderful double layer of duck cloth cotton, you are not getting burned. He didn't let out a yelp. Granted, he's 11 Bravo strong, so there is that. But you can see how in a stupidly short amount of time, with a $10 thrift store electric griddle, you can heat up Centra like mad. So if you take your templates and you cut them out and you have a body or two to help you out, you can see how you could make like a FET style set of armor in very short order. I'll also, in fact, if we can borrow her, her mannequin, that would make for a great demonstration with the other piece. So this is an old school Obi-Wan trick. I don't even know where I learned this back in the day, but that electric griddle really is the shiznits, okay? So 3mm Centra, getting hot. When you see it to start, I think we're already in business.
You will notice that this one won't fit on the other shoulder because
Yep.
this is important to this shoulder.
All right, Caleb,
Yes.
we're ready for another shoulder strap. This is just showing how stupidly easy this is. Okay, so if you need to pry it up with that, the other thing I'd use like a little spatula, like, or you know what you use for drywall or whatever, but I didn't have that on me. Okay.
Always wear the proper PPE, folks.
Yep. Okay. Bada bing, bada bang. Throw that on and make her a shoulder strap. And just hold it on in place. Try not to put in thumbprints. As the Geico commercial, so easy, even a caveman can do it.
I guess I'm the caveman.
You are for this purpose, but yeah, even Mando can do that. And so yeah, like you see, just a really beat up old electric griddle. Okay, quick demo, and here we are with that shoulder strap formed. And then all you'd have to do is clean this up, and you could even hit that with a lighter just for a really quick cleanup.
Yep.
And then we might even do a demo here in just a second. Why don't we paint it or show some weathering? Okay. So, any questions from anybody that watched this? Is that just not stupid easy?
Stupid easy.
Like,
That's pretty simple, yes.
all right, I'm going to unplug this since I can't trust the rheostat on that.
And if you want to see a fully made Centra kit, I do have my original. Let me go and grab them.
Do it. And that's it. All right, what we're doing right now is I'm just going to grab some materials for the next demo. Feel free to stick through with us. Please toss a comment in our chat. Tell us where on the planet you are, and we are very glad to have you guys with us. Mine is an evil laugh. And I'm glad Caleb has his, I'm glad that we've got a heat gun, because that'll come in handy. Tim, you want to give that a sniff and tell me what material's in there? It's not toxic.
Smells citrusy.
Close. Cleaning vinegar.
That would do it, yes.
Cleaning vinegar and 4/0 steel wool. So when we're talking 3D printed products, here are two different throwaway wrecked two small shoulder bells. Okay, this one I used a different form of something very similar to a Bondo spot filler putty, or I use, and then this is wood filler. that I just watered down, put it into the seams, and I have not done a pretty job on this. But we're going to try to just do a demo of what it's like to weather those things. Do we have storms coming? I know there's storms north of us, so. Okay. Okay.
The northeast, which there is very prominent.
Okay. If you, oh, but that's north of us. Unless those legs hit us.
With a little blue dot here, so that's
Yeah. All right, we look okay for now.
it does go quite a bit down.
Okay.
So this may be.
Okay, but we've have an hour or two before it gets interesting.
I think so. It's still what, 2 counties over.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not even in Bloomington yet. Yeah, it's just west of Bloomington.
Okay.
Big rain.
A little bit more of an interesting storm.
Oh yeah.
It's about 50 miles north of us, but we'll catch the skirts.
At least it looks like it'll hit the fork this time, so that's good. We need the rain.
So this is all Centra. This is all female Centra.
Okay.
So this is all going to shape.
So Caleb was saying this entire kit here, this is what, version 1, version 0, version 2?
Very first kit. This is before I decided to build Mermando. So this was a recon specialist. I got it approved with the brigades. So, like I said, very first kit. This is all Centra. Modern style plating, classic Boba Fett, classic Jango Fett. Yep. I decided to go with a different armor style as the years went on because unfortunately I gained a little weight, so I wanted something that would cover just a little bit more. So that's why I went to the Legacy plates.
And Legacy plates are awesome when you get bigger.
Oh yeah, it's overlap. It overlaps, and it covers much more of the body too.
Yep.
Which is super nice.
All right, so let's do some weathering demos. I hooked up your
The heat gun.
heat gun again. I just got to get the mic situated. And what I was explaining to folks, these are 2 different ways. This is wood filler. I have not put any primer on this. This is a different type of, very similar to a Bondo spot filler putty. I just bought a different brand off of Amazon that to me is a little bit smoother, a little bit better. What we have here is cleaning grade, not household grade vinegar. Okay, you have to find it at Menards in a different section. You have to look back. You're not going to look at this where you're finding food, you know, normal vinegar. It specifically has to be cleaning grade. And then I've got 4/0 steel wool in there. Really, and that's how I got this effect. And if I have to do that again, I'll do that again, but I want to see how it does on this stuff. So,
Really rusty.
huh?
So it's really rusty.
Well, this is legitimate real rust. Okay, we're going to create real rust on this in real time. Okay, and I like to make it messy, like just get it sopping wet. And weathering is an art form. It's a little bit of psychopathy. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but my principle is overdo first, pull it back later, because you want to be like you're in the field and you get super, super dirty, and then you take a wire brush or you take a cleaning brush to it, and then you want to clean that off when you're back. Okay? So I can't guarantee this will work on unprimed, but we're just going to see if it does. And Caleb, if you can just hold that and just start rubbing it across there, and then I'm just going to keep on, and I might get a brush. But what we're hoping to see is to see that rust start to form. And then sometimes what I'll even do is I'll leave this stuff physically there just to almost like, oh yeah, see how we're starting to get some cool effects? So let's pop this bad boy vertical. I love this. And then we'll add some additional rust over on this plate.
You also kind of have to keep in mind that you don't want to overheat your 3D printed truck.
Yeah.
Because it will definitely warp and or melt. So we don't want that.
All right, hit this one.
Yep.
Well, and we can see how much that's changed color.
Oh yeah.
I can see the rust forming on my hand. I'll find a chip brush. We can do a little bit more.
I grew up in a salvage yard, so rust is one of my favorite subjects. And I used to go walking down pathway to see all the different vehicles. My grandfather would never call it junk, he would always call it salvage. So we had a 24-hour tow service, wrecker service, a mom and pop garage, and we had vehicles. We had a World War II Army Jeep. We had, whoop, hey, I'm being mic'd. And then we also had a tow truck from the 1940s. It was like a baby blue faded paint job. And over time, the elements got to it and began to rust very beautifully, if I might add. So rust, I like rust on vehicles that are wrecked. I don't like seeing rust on my personal vehicle, but I do like seeing rust on people's kits because it shows that they have been exposed to the elements. And now I get it. People say best car doesn't rust. I get it. But once again, we are plastic spaceman for charity purposes. So, I don't know, I think rust is kind of cool. You might not like rust, I like rust. And as you can see here, that this 3D printed piece for this thigh piece here, this has already begun to kind of have that rough texture. So
I'm going to show you what material I used to put that on.
Oh,
there.
perfect.
So here's also, just if you really want to go high-end, Tamiya Weathering Masters.
Oh.
These little kits are basically like makeup.
Oh, that's cool.
And so you get that wet in there, you use this little brush, literally like a woman putting on stuff on their eyes. And so you can play around with that, just drop a little water in there. I'm looking for my next level stuff for what we're showing here, because I'm going to show you how I got this dirty effect. So feel free to keep talking, Caleb, you got the mic.
I'm just trying to think of what to say next. So on my kit, I have a kit that looks aquatic. It looks like one of the characters from the Clone Wars. If you're familiar with Clone Wars Season 4, the episode called Water Wars, my kit looks very similar to Riff Tamsin, that shark-looking separatist character that we see on Mon Cala, who's hanging out with the separatists, and he's trying to take over Mon Cala and get rid of Prince Lichar and all that. I've added a little bit of rust to my kit to kind of show that it's been exposed to the watery environment as well as the salt water as well. I've also been doing some salt staining, which is basically just watered down gray/white acrylic paint that I mixed with Windex. Windex helps break down the viscosity of the paint, and as we have been showing on these two pieces here, we can just paint it on just like we've been doing, and then just take a dry cloth, paper towel or like a dry cloth that you have laying around, and just start dabbing it over the piece, so that way you're not taking too much off of the piece that you're working on. You want just enough to make it believable.
Okay, so I'm cheating right now because I can't find my other medium, but we're going to use this stuff. This is that not Bondo. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this where we're really globbed up on the bottom of this, and like I said, I go on super heavy to begin with. Okay, and I'm going to just kind of spread this stuff out. This will start to cure. But what I'm doing is I'm just spreading it out to get it in that general vicinity. Okay, because we're going to make this look really dinged and messed up here. Okay. Then, remember me, I was talking with somebody earlier today about using things that would get you very organic shapes. So I'm hitting this from different angles, and this is a toothbrush that has been utterly mucked up, right? Not a new one, but one that's seen a lot of abuse. Okay? And I really got to get it into those crevices and work that stuff into those crevices, or it'll look really wonkified. Right? Mm-hmm. That's where you start to say, hey, something doesn't look right here. Okay? So now I'm just plugging that into those crevices. Okay? Now we can hit that with the heat gun. Dry that off a smidge. And while that's drying off, I'm going to find some acrylic paint. So you can see how this is going to give us a really interesting texture. Okay, let that keep working. Okay, so here's the other stuff that I wanted to show everybody is right here. Let's get that in frame. The other material that's really, really useful is this Liquitex acrylic medium. This is a thick one, a modeling paste. So you can pop that on, and you can also use that for making things seamless. Mm-hmm. Not just seamless, but also VPLs, visible print lines. Okay, Mod Podge is more of a glue, but this comes in handy. And then this is your liquid masking stuff, the masking fluid. Okay? So now what I'm looking for is any acrylic paint. I'm looking all over the place and I don't see it, but I want to show what that's like.
I have some black.
Black will do. Yeah, go ahead and grab it. And a paintbrush or a chip brush.
Stands out.
Okay. And we're just going to do some really down and dirty weathering here. Okay. So I've got a little brown and I'm just popping that on, and this stuff is like super clumpy, right? Caleb, you can go ahead and paint some black. And we're just showing how quickly we took something, and this is now solid and hard. Yeah, just paint that bad boy up. So, as a demo, you can see how quickly and easily you can take something and really start to muck it up and give it texture. You're giving it character. You're giving it various forms of patinas, right?
Mm-hmm. You can also kind of mix.
Oh, yeah. That's where we get some good mud color action right there, right?
Oh, yeah. And you can also use black, or you can also use...
Why don't you hold that?
Yep.
You can do it.
You can also use acrylic paint mixed with Windex. As I said before earlier. Like I said, Windex breaks down that viscosity of the paint really, really well. and it'll give it a good weathered effect.
I have some little cups. Do you want to do a nice wash?
I totally can.
Okay. Well, let's do that.
Okay.
Can you get me 1 cup out of that? Oh, wait, I got some right here.
Yep. Sorry, Sarah, that was mine.
Take it home if you don't want it. You know, it looks good on my.
It did. It looked good.
It
It looked good on that dress form. Okay. Let me go and get the Windex or.
Windex or water. We can do Windex. We can do water.
Oops. Where's the cup?
Right there.
Oh, hey, it's right there in front of me. Hey, I am blind. Okay, there we go.
This is the fun of doing things.
This is just
live.
water.
And I can't believe how much that rusted. Like that effect on that is
Didn't take
amazing.
long. Yeah.
Okay.
Night and
So-
day difference.
This is black acrylic paint and water. And as you can see on this top part here, we're just going to paint.
Set up on the and so it runs down
Oh, yeah.
naturally.
That's a good idea.
You can also see this is why I don't have nice things. When my tables get very mucked up and very dirty. And that is part of the fun of it.
I have done some weathering stuff. It's nothing on this scale.
Yeah, mine's been very ad hoc, self-taught.
Okay, so you can see here that we've already got that black wash added right there. If you were to take a rag, you can start to dab that off, and it'll have a very nice dirty look. I'm trying to see if there's
I don't
a.
have any, normally I like to use toilet paper. Don't ever,
Yeah,
ever use something with a pattern. Don't ever
Yeah.
use Bounty paper towels or
You know what?
some toilet paper out of the porta potty. Just a wad of it.
Or, I mean,
That'll work too.
The
Yeah,
bru-
that does a good
the sponge has a
For armor stuff,
sponge has a little bit of a pattern, but this is just a demonstration.
universe,
This is not.
wipe my armor, clean my armor.
I recommend some sort of rag. And as you can see
Clean it up real quick.
right here, it's already beginning to get all nice and grimy with that black.
So I'd actually like to do a demo of black wash on this because I've never put a real black wash on this one. So let's go ahead and just give it.
I think you can see the dirt. Really nice with
And yeah, I see that we've got 9 people live with us. Please pop up in chat. Tell us where on the planet are you at. Would love to thank you guys for joining us. Welcome to our world. This is Chikori Clan Mandalorian Mercs. I always recommend giving extra attention to the crevices. Make sure the crevices and all the low places get filled first.
It's also why you need to give it a moment before you start pulling it back off. Give those crevices a little bit of time to start to dry, so when you start to blot it off, you can pull it.
Yeah, you don't want to blot it out too quickly. You want it to fill in those crevices. And that's where sometimes you might have to go in with like a real hair thin or very small fine paintbrush. And then with it less watered down, you put more in there and then just sort of rub it into the effect. Okay? So like a lot of things with weathering, we put it on really thick and heavy, and then we're going to pull this back.
Love you too, Don. All right.
All right. So you guys can see how we took a couple of pieces and added to them with 3-4 different types of weathering. And what a difference it makes. Like if you were doing a Survivor,
Yeah.
like, you know, this doesn't need, like if this had a base coat of paint instead of just raw, like we would be well on our way to a Survivor really mucked up, and this one is absolutely there. Let's do a demo. Let's pull out that rub and buff
Where you got the Rub and Buff?
Rub and Buff is in the blue container. Survivor are in season 3 of Mandalorian. The Mandalorians that were on
That's what I figured
on
it was, but I
Mandalore,
wanted to check.
To survive the glass.
but their armor is absolutely beat to crap.
Mm-hmm.
They
So,
didn't have the tools and the means to maintain that armor.
Right.
so you found the Rub and Buff?
Yep. Found the Rub and Buff.
Tube. All right, so let's just put a little glob of that. Let's just use this. This will be a good demo.
Okay.
All right, so that's our gold Rub and Buff. That'll be fun. And I would even say let's use the toothbrush.
Yep. So, toothbrush.
Yep. And then I like to sort of tap it on and
We tap
let's
it on.
tap it onto this one. Pretty wild. Okay. And that's Rub and Buff. And so if we were to take another piece, or even like this as an example, show this with my hand. Okay, you just take this and just rub it right in, and now you can do various effects of different layers of silver or gold as it goes in there, and it makes for just wonderful types of weathering and sheens.
Really
So
great used on edges
yes, you want to put that on edges,
Here.
on high points.
where your armor would have hit or brushed against surfaces.
And Star Wars likes to have a lot of little high point aesthetics of just little things that grab your eye, sort of that rule of cool. Okay. And so maybe what I'm going to do is I'm just scratching it across here and just hitting it just lightly on its edges. Okay. So yeah, lots of different ways of playing with weathering. So with that, we've been live for about 35 minutes. I think that's good. You guys have any other questions about weathering before we close this down?
Nope.
Awesome. All right, thanks for being with us, folks. Enjoy and keep on